The Vendor Information tab is under Inventory or Accounting 1, Setup, Vendor. You can look at the Vendor Information tab by pressing New and Customer Vendor Information tab. Or you can select it by looking at a certain customer and going to the Vendor Information tab. Under the Vendor Information tab, the first item is the vendor code. You can input any number or letters, but if you have a registration number, you can input that as well. Make sure to check if the code is valid or not. Add a company name and the type of the business of the vendor. If it's a contractor, whether it be domestic or international, select what it applies to it. If it is a tax entity number that you can apply, you can choose to leave it as a tax entity number, or you can do it by search, where you usually use this as a branch to report tax information under the headquarters while keeping track of each vendor's sales slips. So if this applies to you, search for the vendor here. You can also set it manually if you want. If you have a subcode for the tax entity, input it, the CEO name, the business type, the business item. Fill in the information, and if you have multiple email or fax or mobile numbers, you can press the FN button and press Add. You can specify the country code if you want. By pressing the Add button, you can select multiple recipient settings per menu. Let us press this button to find out more. Enter the type name, such as sales slip, and press Settings. And you can select the type of menu that you would like to apply. Once you click Save, you can choose the name of the recipient, the fax or mobile information, and click it appropriately. Once you hit Save and go to Save, that information can also be viewed under Groupware, CRM, and Business Contact. When you search for that company name, you can see the information has been updated here as well. Going back, if you go to customer vendor information, you can add addresses as well. You can add more addresses as well. You can use the keyword function to quickly search for the vendor by applying the information here. By clicking Save and using the top right quick search button, you can quickly search for that vendor information like so. If it's a general business, leave it as general. And if you have a customs broker, you have to set it as customs broker in order to get help on the Accounting 2 and import menu. It is used here. So if you have a customs broker, leave it as a customs broker. And if it's a vendor that uses foreign currency, you can choose the currency here, or if you don't have one, you can add one and select it here. The next one is file. So if you have any files that relate to the vendor, you can upload them here. Furthermore, you can classify these vendors according to vendor groups. So select the magnifying glass, and you can add new groups. And add a group name and select it to classify them and use it as a search feature. If there is a website or remark, you can add them here. If you would like the shipping order slip to be automized whenever you add this vendor to sales, you can press Use. If there are transaction types for sales and purchases, and you would like to set them to non-taxable, select Set Manually and save it as non-taxable. And lastly, you can have a customer vendor level group, so you can further classify these vendor groups. Select the magnifying glass and press New and Edit. Right-click on Root and add Group. So you can add your own group codes. You can do so by country or region or whatever that you need. I'll do it by continents. Once you made the base group, you can right-click on the base group to add a subgroup. Like so. You can see that it has been added here. So if you have a vendor that you want to include in this subgroup, you can go for Not Included and include that vendor. Like so. You can use the ECOUNT Web Uploader feature. Once you're done, make sure to save your data.